Maybe you guys have seen the movie. I haven't, but Michael Oher from the Blind Side movie has come forward. He's making some news and people are talking. The 2009 movie, The Blind Side, about former NFL player Michael Oher, is now getting some new wrinkles because, as we know, the whole story is about how he was adopted by this family and he's propelled to NFL greatness. He's the gentle giant. Well, him now being at the center of this whole controversy is pushing back on that whole thing that they saved his life. Oher asked the Tennessee court on Monday to formally end his legal relationship with the family who took him in, claiming that he had never actually been adopted and had been tricked into signing away his decision-making powers so that family could take tons of money off of his story and his life. Let's go to these details from the New York Times. Michael Oher is 37 years old and he's seeking a termination of the conservatorship. Geez, when Brittany did this, I fell over that word. Conservatorship that began when he was 18, plus money that he says he should have earned from the movie, as well as an injunction preventing Leigh and Tuohy and Sean Tuohy from using his name and his likeness. This is what the petition was saying. The families of classmates often let Oher, who fell through the cracks of a quote broken social system, stay in their homes. Where other parents of Michael's classmates saw Michael simply as a nice kid in need, conservators Sean and Leigh saw something else. A gullible young man whose athletic talent could be exploited for their own benefit. Now, this petition, which was filed in Shelby County in Tennessee, claims that when he thought he was being adopted, the Tuohys urged him to sign a conservatorship in which he relinquished his ability to enter into contracts. The lawsuit also claims that Oher, who started living with the Tuohys at age 16, unknowingly signed away the rights to his life story for that same movie by 20th Century Fox in 2007, just a couple years before it then came out. And also lastly, in Tennessee, a conservatorship is defined as an arrangement in which a court removes at least some decision-making powers and duties from a person with a disability who lacks the capacity to make decisions in one or more important areas. And then it grants those duties to a conservator or conservators or co-conservators. The 04 order that granted his conservatorship to the Tuohys states that Oher appeared to have no known physical or psychological disabilities. This is something I wondered all the time, Dave, because I never saw the movie. I'm not sure if you did, but I guess my read on it was something was wrong with the way Michael Oher could handle his business and could see the way he could progress throughout his life. So he needed this help. And again, it's because I didn't pay attention close to the story and didn't see the movie, didn't read anything to the books, anything about it. But the fact that he's coming out now, I think he's dispelling many of those things that people like me thought, just on a very casual level, first of all. And then secondly, they're now fighting back when it comes to this. I'm not sure what this can do for them, but your first thoughts here.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I think he was far more independent than a lot of folks seem to believe, or many of us sort of knew. I didn't see the movie either or follow much about the story, but there was always something about whenever you take a child, now he wasn't a child, but a teenager, and then you turn a movie about them, and your adopted parents, or any parents for that matter, it seems a little bit like exploitation. But I didn't really sort of think much about it. Now it seems that it was total exploitation, that the family was far more concerned about the financial gain, what they would benefit from this movie. And I had always thought, well, maybe they made the movie with his blessings and he was part of it and he encouraged it because he also was signed on to this amazing story. And to come to find out that no, that wasn't the case, that he was sort of snookered into this, and that he doesn't have any sort of financial gain that he's made out of this, and that it's only this family that somehow has benefited, is really disheartening and sad, frankly.
There was always a lot of folks who were, I guess, critical of the way the movie came off, and it was, even if it was the hero, the white savior type of movie that was coming through. But this new wrinkle, I think, maybe adds more to that. So of course, the folks who are the targets of this have responded as well. The Tuohy family. Sean told the Daily Memphian that he was devastated by these allegations, and the family didn't take any money off of the Blind Side film. This details here. He says it's upsetting to think that we would make money off of any of our children, but we're going to love Michael at 37, just like we loved him at 16, is what he said. And at the Blind Side book, author Michael Lewis gave us half of his share, but he maintained that everybody in the family got an equal share, including Michael. And he said that number was $14,000 each of them got. Also, Sean also said that the conservatorship was a route to helping secure Oher's eligibility to play college football. Also saying that lawyers had advised the family they couldn't adopt over the age of 18, and that the only thing we could do was have a conservatorship. He said that he would have been willing to end it if Oher wanted that. I don't know. At this point, again, 37 years old, Oher is retired. Whatever monies he made in the NFL, I'm not sure the degree or even the relationship he had with the Tuohys, I hope I'm saying the name right, throughout the rest of his career really meant a lot, or how much of it they got, or what the relationship really was. But maybe it was strained for a long time, and now we have this new wrinkle to jump on, and I'm sure people are taking sides based off of what we really don't know. So I mean, when it comes to $14K for the movie, and then the rest of his career and getting him to college, I wonder to what degree they did help, or if it started as this positive help this kid out type of thing, and then it turned into this kid just might go pro. People's objectives shift sometimes when they see what's going on, but we'll never really know. Hopefully everyone at least has some kind of a end game here where no one's fully hurt, or their financial status really isn't happening that bad, or they haven't dug into anything in the future for Michael Oher. But he is coming out speaking, at least, to have his own voice. Your last thoughts here, David?
I'd be curious. Michael Lewis is a pretty well-known, esteemed, incredible author. We haven't really heard from him about this, and so for those of us who aren't quite sure what to believe, I'd be curious if some journalist actually talks to the author, Michael Lewis, and gets his take on, okay, was there anything weird that you saw? Was there anything that was not on the up and up? Was somebody taking advantage of somebody else? Because he would probably have a pretty interesting perspective on all of that.
I'm gonna have to watch the movie and see how they depicted it. Because I'll start a book and get through the first 4 chapters, and then something just kind of happens. So my bad, it's just how it is.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.